Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Tuesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Diana Master. In the news tonight, the Business and Intellectual Property Authority, BIPA, has cancelled its 10.3 million Namibian dollar office tender after one of the bidders challenged the award, alleging conflicts of interest involving consultants appointed to oversee the procurement. Now, BIPA had appointed Mali Shisho architects as consultants for the proposed office development project, including the design of the new offices. Now, documents seen by Network Media Hub show the firm as the project's architect. The bidder, B-Tech Investments, claims in their 18 June 2026 letter to BIPA that Mali Shisho was involved in evaluating the bids and had past engagements with the successful bidder, Urban Engineering CC. Now, B-Tech also alleged bid tampering and other procurement irregularities that it says compromised the integrity of the tender. The Bid Evaluation Committee, BEC, that conducted the evaluation consisted of consultants from Mali Shisho Architects, where the consultants' appointments made in compliance with Section 26 of the Public Procurement Act and approved by the Procurement Policy Unit PPU as required by the Act. Now, a total of 13 companies submitted bids for the BIPA office development project. The company says the alleged omission raises concerns about the integrity of the procurement process and called on BIPA to investigate what it described as possible tampering with its bid documents. She said BIPA plans to re-advertise the tender. Getting into our next story, EID brand ambassador Regina Ganaimis says Namibia's planned electronic ID EID system could help reduce the number of unclaimed bodies ending up in mass burials by making it easier to identify deceased persons through biometric data. Speaking to NMH this morning, Ganaimis said fingerprints, facial recognition and iris scans could help authorities trace relatives of people who die without identity documents. She said many unclaimed deceased persons come from remote areas, making it difficult to notify their families before burials. Let's take a look.
Burial always happens because the person that is deceased, family members never came or they have never been recognized by other family members. That's why the government takes them to go bury them. So in this case, personally, looking at it in a bigger picture, if that person would have been enrolled with an EID documentation, at least people could have, because we have biometrics that secure the EID, you can use your fingerprint, you can use your facial recognition, you can use your irises or your hand palm. One of these could have shown that this person, because those people did not even have birth certificates, those people came from places that are deep down, maybe with work, and then where they were working, those people just dropped them off here and they got maybe they died in hospital and they were kept there. So at least if the person was enrolled in EID, by the time the person was alive, they would have recognized that this person is from this family and alerted the family so they can check on the person, or maybe if they are deceased, then they could have used their facial recognition to at least see that this is who by their name and their personal information.
Getting into our next story, Chinese ambassador to Namibia, Zhao Weiping, says the recent state visit by President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah to China was a success and laid a strong foundation for deeper cooperation between the two countries, with both sides now working to implement the agreements reached during the visit. Speaking on the outcomes of the July 5 to 11 visit, Weiping said China and Namibia are advancing discussions on trade investment, infrastructure development and green energy, while also exploring new opportunities in agriculture, mining, value addition and skills development. Let's take a look.
I wish to emphasize that the greater success of this visit will for sure bring greater benefits to our two peoples. Let me provide you more details in this regard. First, the Chinese side pledged more government grant assistance to Namibia, which will be utilized to implement more development assistance projects in Namibia, aiming at improving Namibia's social and economic development, as well as the well-being of the Namibian people. Second, more emphasis will be given to youth empowerment, as both sides committed to strengthen educational exchanges and cooperation, and China committed to strengthen its cooperation with Namibia on human resources, capacity building, and technical support through government scholarships and training opportunities for Namibians. I wish to inform you that China's Ministry of Commerce has just provided scholarships for master's and doctoral studies in China to 87 Namibian students this year. As you know, during the visit, both sides also signed a memorandum of understanding between Ministry of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sports, Arts and Culture of the Republic of Namibia and Ministry of Education of the People's Republic of China on bilateral cooperation in the field of technical and vocational education and training, which will help promote exchanges and cooperation between the TVET institutions of the two countries.
That brings us to the end of our top stories. Stick around after the break. We bring you our Community Talk segment.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises, from artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us. Something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. Creative Sport Tourism.
Our Community Talk segment starts with a very powerful quote: "Giving must come from the heart. When you help someone, you should not expect anything in return. You should do it because you see a need and want to make a difference." These are the words of Anna Oletu Shaulwa, founder of TBJ Hope Charity, who supports vulnerable community members while running her own informal business. Speaking to Network Media Hub in Oshwarongo last Sunday, Shaulwa said her passion for helping others was inspired by her family. A charity provides food, old clothing and other essential items to people in need. Although resources are limited, Shaulwa remains committed to helping where she can. She is now seeking funding and partnerships to expand the charity's reach. Shaulwa hopes her work will inspire others to give back and show kindness, saying even small acts of generosity can bring hope to those facing difficult times. Her business is fully registered and she's now looking for additional funding and partnerships to help expand TBJ Hope Charity's operations and reach more people in need. Now, despite the challenges she encounters, Shaulwa remains committed to her passion of creating unity and encouraging a culture of support within the community. She says her goal is not to receive praise, but rather to inspire others to understand that even small acts of kindness can bring hope to those going through difficult times. Let's take a look at this next video.
O no mepo na mekansika kucho mepo yasikena na yana na ngokucheke ondinango mepo yokweteleka ondineko mepo yongenda nokutaleke vakwetu ndakala ndiri mo location ande shanditaleka ni vakwetu vavadzingono kangengaha anu vamwe kaveneke shadhuru kudya kuchomeva mumboka munasa kudya anoke vakalunga ndakakwatwaneko mepo ilingawo kutya no ngenge mbiro ndatameke no shima shilingaha tashidurungo kutiparayo vakwetu komesho. So pefenenga shingao shoneshakana nange ndikale andivatele vakwetu vavenasha mala fiyo papa andishinengeke kwame mwene fiyo papi nandimonana na sponsor fiyo papi nandimonana na sponsor ka natiripo ndianjike kuja mwame mwene and sacrifice myself elenga kuchai ndike mwashandilongo ashmashindamonapo ndikufile moyo vakwetu avapumba kwafu ana veshandilongo navo kuchane omeme anyasha akulunu yilema lekovativa na disability people so nano avesha vakanifa hopa dzala kuti anditiluno ku counseling aniko wetengo kuchuno kuteapo velimo kwatulingaha wakanifanande onsamane wae so mala mukwachamu akanivesamane wae ukuti tengeno unyoni wafa wahula uchamoto ngala mwenyo kelita ikala vali nao ngashashali na nsamane wae so anidrone kupopsana ndo.
Continuing with our community talk segment, Vardaheim Shakapa, who is former principal of the dilapidated Toivo ya Toivo Secondary School in Ondangwa, told Network Media Hub that there was previously a proposal to renovate the school. However, he said the estimated cost of renovation at the time was about 100 million Namibian dollars, which was considered too costly. Speaking at the official handover today, Shapaka expressed appreciation to the late Andimba Toivo ya Toivo and to government for constructing the new Andimba Toivo ya Toivo Secondary School, which has been operational for about 5 years now. Have a look.
I'm trying now, finding all this, relevant offices or authority for the school, to be constructed. To be renovated. Yeah, we tried by all means to do what we can do, but we thank the government of the Republic of Namibia, specifically, the late Andimba Toivo, may he so rest in peace. I always believe that without him, the realizations of the new construction of the school, which is there, wouldn't have happened. If it would have happened, it wouldn't have happened this momentum. So him and I, we really tried very, very hard until the government tried to secure money, fund. As you know, this new school was funded, by IMF, money taken from African Bank. So how it's financed, and it was through the perseverance, tenacity, and commitment of the late Jan Liba to make sure that he will not die before this school, was constructed. The new school was constructed. The first idea was to renovate the school, but when we requested, the cost of the renovations, so the initial cost was 100.
Stick around after the break. We bring you the latest in economic news.
From the heart of the continent to its farthest horizons, Africa awakens with stories that shape our world. This is Africa Good Morning, your window into the pulse of a dynamic continent. I'm Ashwin Berry, here to deliver the latest news, sharp insights, and the vibrant spirit of Africa. Every weekday, we dive into the headlines, uncover untold stories, and spotlight the people driving change. Plus, stay ahead with daily weather forecasts and economic updates to navigate your week with confidence. With direct coverage from our correspondents on the ground, we bring you in-depth access to Africa's beating heart. Mondays, Mike Situla reports from Zambia.
Africa, good morning.
Tuesdays, Talent Gore covers Zimbabwe.
Samka edukana mamkao, mamkase Africa.
Wednesdays, Rorisang Mohojwe brings Botswana's news. Dumela, Rorisang.
Thank you very much, Ashwin, for having me right here on Africa. Good morning. It is always a pleasure to be here with you all.
Thursdays, Ari Hogarth tackles South Africa.
Yes, very good morning, Ashwin and Aina. Yes, a good atmosphere.
And Fridays, we focus on Namibia's bold narratives. From thriving cities to rugged plains, our team is there, capturing the rhythm of a continent on the rise. Africa Good Morning is your essential start. News, weather, economics, and more.
And now getting into our economic news segment. The Total Energies Gulf Partnership will bring two of Namibia's largest offshore oil discoveries, Venus and Mopane, under a single operator in the Orange Basin. The transaction has now received the required regulatory approvals, allowing Total Energies to complete its acquisition of operatorship in Petroleum Exploration License PEL 83 as the company moves closer to sanctioning the Venus development. Beyond Mopane, Total Energies has identified more than 1.5 billion BOE of additional exploration potential on PEL 83, including the Quiver and Sobrero prospects and the planned Mopane extension well. The February 2026 presentation outlines a Venus development capable of producing approximately 150,000 barrels of oil per day, with first oil targeted for 2030. The same presentation indicates that the initial Mopane development is expected to produce more than 200,000 barrels per day, with a targeted final investment decision in 2028. The two developments could produce about 350,000 barrels of oil per day if both projects proceed just as planned. And now let's take a look at the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 22.27 against the British pound, 19.06 against the euro, 16.76 against the US dollar, and 2 Namibian dollars and 48 cents buys you 1 Chinese yuan. All commodities are down, with Brent crude oil taking the biggest hit, now trading at 88.78 US dollars per barrel. Stay with us as we take a quick ad break, but when we come back, we bring you the latest in international news. Mornings just got better, Namibia. From the latest headlines to the hottest trends, we're bringing you the conversations that matter.
That's right. Bright minds, bold opinions, and a touch of morning magic. This is your daily dose of energy.
So grab a cup and join in on the conversation every weekday morning at 8 o'clock with Smell the Coffee, hosted by Diana Master and Aina Riza Quayo. Tonight in international news, more than 100 people sit cross-legged on mats, braving the brutal July heat as they raise slogans and wave the national flag in a North Indian town. Barely 200 kilometers from the capital, New Delhi, where thousands of youths demanding education reforms just forced a minister to resign, a group of students, alumni and residents are holding an indefinite sit-in to oppose the planned demolition of 38 of Muhammad Ali Jawahar University's 40 buildings. Named after a freedom fighter who fought against British rule, the university was founded by prominent Muslim politician Azam Khan in Rampur district of Uttar Pradesh state. Khan established the Muhammad Ali Jawahar Trust in 2003, which oversaw the university's establishment 3 years later. Only 2 structures, including a proposed medical college block, were built with valid approvals, the authorities claimed, as they ordered the university to take down the illegal buildings by August 5th. If they fail to do so, the authorities said they will move in with bulldozers and recover the cost of the demolition from the university. And now, let's take a look at the weather predictions. Finta can expect clear conditions and sunny skies, maximum temperatures of 23 degrees Celsius and minimum temperatures of 10 degrees Celsius. Looking over at Inanna, Inanna is expecting the same clear conditions, minimum temperatures of 11 degrees Celsius and maximum temperatures of 31 degrees Celsius. Looking over at the coast in Walvis Bay, maximum temperatures of 26 degrees Celsius are to be expected and minimum temperatures of 15 degrees Celsius. In Oranjemund, it's bright, clear and sunny skies, minimum temperatures of 12 degrees Celsius and maximum temperatures of 26 degrees Celsius. We'll now take a quick ad break before Ari Hochad joins us with the latest in sporting news.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises, from artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us. Something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. Creative Sport Tourism.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with tennis news first. It is the hardcourt season that starts now. It's Wimbledon grass court that is now finished in the world of tennis, and it is the next major that will be the US Open. That will be starting on the 23rd of August, going all the way through to the finals on the weekend of the 13th of September. It's a DC Open that started now. It's being played in Washington, D.C. And the number one seed in the men's division is Alex de Minaur. He is from Australia, and he will play against Stefanos Tsitsipas in the first round. Number two seeded player is Ben Shelton from America. Number three player, that is Taylor Fritz from America. He already played his first round, and he got the better of Zigo Bergs, and the score there was 6-3 and 6-4. In the women's side of the draw, also a few first-round games that was already completed, and it was a number 8 seed, that is Emma Navarro of the USA. She beat another American, Sonia Kenin, by 6-love and 7-5 in the first round. And then number 7 seeded, Leila Fernandez, she's from Canada, got the better of Magda Linette, 6-1 and 6-4, the score in that game. Moving on to football news, soccer news, and it's the English Premier League that will start on the 21st of August. Opening game will be the defending champions, so that will be Arsenal that will play against Coventry, and it is Chelsea that's still in the news. Chelsea that confirmed that they're trying to sign two very experienced players. It is 36-year-old Jordan Henderson. He's currently playing for Brentford. And then also it's a 35-year-old player that is a former England striker, and that is Danny Welbeck. He plays for Brighton. Both these players are apparently in talks with Everton to move over to Everton for the new season. It will be Everton that start their season on the 24th of August. Their first game will be against Fulham. That's in the English Premier League. Closing off today's international sports news with Commonwealth Games. It is the Commonwealth Games that's currently taking place in Scotland, and the netball is very interesting still, the round robin games, and some of the results was New Zealand that beat Jamaica. That was a very close game in the end. It was Jamaica that came back late in the game. The score there was 53-48 in favour of New Zealand. And then England, also a good win for them against Malawi, 73-38 that score. And it was Scotland that got the better of Trinidad and Tobago, and that score was 77-27. That is netball news from the Commonwealth Games. So that's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day. We'll talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. I am Diana Master, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.